In other news today, there was confirmation last night from Parliament that the National Assembly Speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula, has now appointed 2 judges and a law professor to that panel to investigate whether there is a prima facie case against President Cyril Ramaphosa over the Phala Phala scandal. The 2 judges are the former Chief Justice, Sandile Ngcobo, and the Gauteng High Court Judge, Thokozile Masipa. The law professor is Professor Richard Calland. So far, it seems both the EFF and the DA have criticised the appointment of Calland. They say he supported Ramaphosa in the past, but Judges Matter says it believes judges should not be involved in this process. Zakona Ndlebe is a researcher at Judges Matter. Zakona, good afternoon to you, and thank you for your time. Your organisation has suggested that maybe judges should not be involved in this process at this time. Why do you believe that?
We believe that judges should not be involved in the process because it's very political at this stage, and we've seen a lot of issues being raised against the judiciary, a lot of punches being thrown against the judiciary. So we don't think that the judiciary can take any more of such issues being raised against it, especially from such a politicized process.
Are you suggesting that no matter what happens, either this panel says there is a prima facie case or it says there isn't, whatever happens, politicians are going to be angry and there's going to be a huge fight?
We think that there will definitely be a huge problem, regardless of the decision that comes out of the panel. So if you look at the political parties, if the panel finds that there is no prima facie evidence against the president, then we'll get various political parties that are not happy with that decision. And even if the panel finds that there is a prima facie evidence against the president, we might find that members of the ANC might not be happy with that decision. So that is why we think that judges should not be involved in this process. And the rules of parliament, section 129, also says that judges may. They do not have to. They don't say that judges must be involved. A judge must be appointed as a member of the panel. So that is another reason why we think that judges should not be involved in the process at this point in time.
There's another way to look at it, which is that we look to judges for their knowledge and their experience, and that if they were to make a decision, it would have more legitimacy, one way or another. Shouldn't judges, maybe retired judges, be lending that legitimacy to a process like this?
Well, at this point, we've seen the Speaker of the National Assembly appoint 2 retired judges, as you've mentioned earlier on. And those retired judges will lend the prestige of their knowledge and experience to the process. But our main concern is the impact that their involvement is going to have on the entire judiciary. So it's not really about the judges or the experience that they have. We also believe that there are other people who have similar experience to that that the judges have. We've got advocates, attorneys that were also nominated to be appointed to the panel. So those people could have also discharged the same duties that the judges will discharge in this process.
And the fact that they're retired doesn't matter. That doesn't make any difference to your argument.
You know, Stephen, the fact remains that a person who has been appointed as a judge is appointed as such for a lifetime. So whether a person is retired, they still hold that position. So their conduct is still considered a conduct of a judge. Yes, they are retired judges, but they still hold the position of a judge. So whatever they do, it will have an impact on the judiciary. And once again, the rules say may, not must.
So these 2 judges are now going to sit on this committee. Do you think even at this stage they should pull out? Would that be your advice?
At this point in time, if they want to pull out, I'm sure there could be a way that the Speaker of the National Assembly might do that. But as far as I am aware, they've accepted that nomination, and I don't think that they will pull out. So at this stage, there's really nothing that can be done. All we can do is wait and see how the process plays out and hope that their involvement in this situation will not have a negative impact on the entire judiciary.
Would you prefer Parliament to change its rules in the future to say that actually we're not going to use judges? And I can just see, Zakona, I can see court cases coming over this, I'm afraid.
We think it's not going to play out well. as well, Stephen, but we'll have to wait and see. We don't think that Parliament should change its rules because the rules accommodate for a situation where judges do. 29 states that the panel may include a judge, and if that happens, it will be in consultation with the Chief Justice. So what we had suggested in our findings is that perhaps the Speaker of the National Assembly, if a judge is nominated, refused to have a judge appointed to the panel, then they exercise that discretion. And if the Speaker does not exercise that discretion, then perhaps when the Chief Justice is being consulted, the Chief Justice exercises that discretion and does not give his consent to have a judge appointed to the panel.
Zakhona Ndlebe, thank you, researcher at Judges Matter. Really do